Have you ever wondered why Brazil feels like its own universe? A place where nature creates impossible landscapes, where culture rewrites the rules, and where traditions look like they came straight out of a fantasy world. Today, you're about to discover 5 things that exist only in Brazil, and I promise, number 5 will completely change the way you see the country. Brazil isn't just big, it's huge. But what makes it unique isn't the size. It's the impossible places that shouldn't exist, yet do. Take Lençóis Maranhenses, a desert with lagoons. Rainwater gets trapped between giant white sand dunes, forming these stunning turquoise pools that appear only a few months a year. Scientists are still trying to figure out exactly how this ecosystem survives. But the locals, they just say, Brazil creates what science cannot explain. It's a place where you can walk through a desert and swim in crystal-clear water on the same day. It's truly a natural paradox. Then you have the meeting of the waters in Amazonas. This is where 2 giant rivers, the dark Rio Negro and the sandy-colored Solimões River, run side by side for over 6 kilometers without mixing. It's like a massive natural yin-yang symbol painted on the water's surface. The reason they don't mix is because they have different temperatures, speeds, and densities. It's a straight, visible line in the middle of the river, a sight that feels completely unreal. And deep in the Cerrado, Brazil's savanna, you'll find the Val de Lua, or Moon Valley. Over thousands of years, the river has carved the rocks into smooth, otherworldly shapes that look like craters and formations from an alien planet. Walking through it genuinely feels like you've left Earth and landed on the moon. These places aren't just beautiful tourist spots. They're living proof of how Brazil constantly bends, and sometimes even breaks, the rules of nature. It's a country that refuses to be predictable. Now, if rhythm had a homeland, it would be Brazil. This is the only country where the streets themselves sound alive. From samba, born in the Afro-Brazilian neighborhoods of Rio de Janeiro, to bossa nova, which took the world by storm and completely reshaped jazz forever. All the way to funk carioca, a modern, powerful beat that's now exported to clubs all over the globe. Brazil doesn't just make music, it creates entire genres from scratch. The air here literally hums with creativity. And here is a secret most people don't know about Brazilian music. It is all about syncopation. That means the beat often falls in unexpected places, on the offbeat. This is why Brazilian music feels like it's dancing with you, not just playing for you. It pulls you in, it's conversational, it's alive. Even the national instrument, the berimbau, is a uniquely Brazilian creation. It's just a single string, a wooden bow, and a gourd. That's it. Yet, this simple instrument controls the entire flow and energy of capoeira, a martial art disguised as a dance, which is, you guessed it, another Brazilian invention. Only in Brazil can music, movement, and history all blend together to create a single, powerful language that everyone understands. Before Brazil was even a country, it was already a world of stories. Some of these are just myths, but others, locals will swear on their lives that they are real. There's the curupira, a guardian of the forest with hair of fire and feet that are turned backwards. This clever feature was designed to confuse hunters and loggers, leading them in circles until they get lost. Then there's the Iara, a beautiful mermaid who lives in the freshwater rivers of the Amazon. Legend says she sings an enchanting song to lure men to the bottom of the river, from which they never return. And of course, there's the Saci Pererê, a mischievous, one-legged trickster who wears a magical red cap and travels around in tiny dust devil tornadoes, playing pranks on everyone. You'll hear these stories from children playing in the bustling streets of São Paulo, from fishermen casting their nets in the Amazon, and from wise elders in the quiet countryside. Brazil is one of the very few places on earth where folklore isn't just something in a dusty old book. It's alive. It's part of the culture, it's part of daily conversations, and it's a huge part of the nation's collective imagination. And here is a fascinating detail. Many of these folkloric figures were born from the fusion of indigenous beliefs, African traditions, and European legends. It's a mix that could only happen in Brazil, a country that blended 3 different worlds into one unique identity. Now let's talk about food. Because Brazilian food isn't just different, it is pretty much impossible to recreate authentically outside of the country. Where else can you find acai in its original pure form? I'm talking about the rich, earthy, unsweetened pulp that's a staple in the Amazon. Nothing like the sugary smoothie bowls you find in the US. Then there's feijoada, a hearty black bean and meat stew. It was a dish born out of necessity during the time of slavery. But it has since been transformed into a beloved national symbol of celebration and togetherness. And you can't talk about Brazilian flavors without mentioning cachaça, the iconic spirit distilled from sugarcane. It is the heart and soul of the famous caipirinha cocktail and has played a huge role in shaping Brazilian identity. And what about farofa? It's a toasted manioc flour topping that, on paper, shouldn't make any sense. It's just crunchy, savory flour. But Brazilians put it on everything, and somehow it makes everything taste better. And then there's the whole universe of Brazilian fruits, names you've probably never heard of, like cupuaçu, graviola, and pitanga. And my favorite, the jabuticaba, a sweet, dark fruit that grows directly on the trunk and branches of the tree, not on stems. It's another perfect reminder. In Brazil, even nature doesn't follow the rules. Finally, we come to the most mind-blowing thing about Brazil, its extreme diversity. If you travel across Brazil, it's like traveling across 3 completely different continents, all within one country. In the south, you'll find cities with heavy European influence, German-style architecture, and even cold winters where it sometimes snows. Travel up to the northeast, and you'll feel the powerful pulse of African influence in the music, the food, the religion, and the vibrant culture. Then head to the north, and you're in the Amazon, the largest and most biodiverse rainforest on Earth, home to indigenous communities with ancient traditions. You'll hear completely different accents, encounter different climates, and learn about different histories, all while still being in Brazil. Most countries have one main cultural root. Brazil has dozens: indigenous, Portuguese, African, Italian, German, Japanese, and more. They've all blended together over centuries to create something entirely new. And that's why you can't compare Brazil to anywhere else on the planet. It's not just a country, it's a mosaic of worlds. So yes, Brazil is so much more than a country. It's a living, breathing collection of worlds, shaped by nature, history, people, and stories that you simply won't find anywhere else. And if you want to continue exploring this incredible universe with me, make sure you follow our channel and check out the full playlist of our deep dive videos. Because the deeper you go into Brazil, the stranger, more beautiful, and more unbelievable it becomes. Thanks for watching.